H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And today is Tuesday. Great day. I can't wait to get this show started. I got some crazy stuff that been going on, and some stuff I got to share with you. Uh, man, I'm serious. I can't wait to get this show started. Frank, you picked a good day. You picked a good day, Frank, to be on this show. You just picked a good day. I'm trying to share the show, y'all. I'm coming on just like y'all, and I'm gonna share the show right now personally, and I'm gonna share it with my groups. Got a couple of groups that I hang out on, and I'm gonna share it with them. Then I'm gonna go over to YouTube. I see y'all. I'm gonna go over to YouTube, and I'm gonna share y'all. I'm telling y'all better text tag tell somebody. I know y'all be wanting to have all this good information, man, but share. Don't just like me. I know you like me, but just don't like me. Share me too. Share it. Um, I can't wait. This. I don't know where to start. I told y'all. Sometimes I have some notes said Robert, at least because you have to practice keeping some kind of framework of what you're doing, because when you're on a TV show or when you're in other situations, we are blessed to have this situation like this, so we can go as long as we can. That's why I don't accept as many sponsorships or things, because I want the show to continue. I like when I stop the show, I want to stop it for a reason. And because sometimes the stuff just be so good, you can't be stopping the show just to talk about something. But I love to talk about whatever you have in your business. We do it on this show because we want people to know. We want people to support you. We want you to be wealthy, healthy, and wise. So, but here, let me shout out to Frank Miles. Let's shout out to Daryl Anderson. Let's shout out. Hold up, I don't even have all my lights on. See, y'all, I'm telling you. Look what they do to me. Look what they put on my chair behind. Y'all see a chair behind? That's the Edmonton Oilers. My people mess with them Oilers, y'all. They put this behind me. They put this behind me. Want me to show it off. I got but hang on. I like Florida. I like Florida too. But I put it behind me. But I'm gonna get cranked up in a minute. Let me make sure I got everything right. Shout out to that is Moody, Eric Harrison, Big Coach, Jeremy Davis, Eric Boone. Y'all share the show. Ivan Pettit Jr., the young man that took his whole clan down to find it this weekend, man. Um, but I got so much. I'm trying to see where I'm gonna start, because I got to finish yesterday, because I want to talk about you young coaches, young guys that's growing up, want to be coaches in college. Uh, you know, I I got a blueprint for you. I got what not to be and what you should be. You know, you I'm I talked to an coach the other day, and he just poured out his heart to me, uh, talking about the difficulties, and getting proper help, and getting proper assistance, and having proper assistance, but assistant coaches, and especially in this climate, because you can have the wrong assistant coach in this climate, and something can happen, and you can just get fired because you got the wrong guy on your staff. And that's probably a good lesson in y'all life. You got the wrong people in your circle, in your business, in your. I'm sorry for being a little bit late today. Uh, um, right before the show, I had an important situation I had to take care of. So I think what about 8 minutes? 8 minutes? Yeah, I owe you 8 minutes today. It's a very humid day. That Moody said in the Windy City. What's up, Robert Young? What's going on, baby? So let's start off. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna start off with. Big Coach, what happened last night? Well, let me give you the headlines. Let's go headlines, Coach. See, y'all got to realize, uh, 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 I, most people gonna be talking about the game last night. We're gonna talk about that. Y'all know I'm gonna talk about the Thunder. Um, and that boy Jalen Williams got to work. Went to Santa Clara, man. Half of y'all kids around here, if I ask you, man, let's go to, you want to go to Santa Clara? No, I ain't going there. I ain't going there. He said, Rob, I'm gonna definitely need you when the time comes. Boy, you better. You better. Let me tell you something. Um, let's see. Trying to see where I want to go. We're gonna talk a little bit about the game, just a little bit. We're gonna talk a bit, because I got some interesting insights last night. We'll talk about that. But I'm gonna talk about Stephen A. Smith because he messed around and said something that y'all know I might talk about him, but I always come back. But the man messed around and said the wrong thing last night. He mentioned the city where I was born in, and not knowing what the hell he talking about. Chop Shop page. What you mean, Sonya? Chop Shop page. Chop Shop page. What? Sonya, help me out. Sonya, what you doing? You just scared the hell out of me talking about Chop Shop page. Let's see. Oh, man. People been calling me all morning. And I'm just trying to see where I want to start. But, shout out to OKC. They beat the brakes off my boys last night. He said I heard it on Facebook talking about Memphis. Okay. See, I haven't had a chance to see it. People been calling me, telling me about it. So, but I got something to say. I'm just waiting on enough people to get on here. Share the show, text, tag, tell somebody. But what happened to the game I love, basketball? What happened? Somebody tell me. What happened to the game I love? Oh. Watch this. What happened to the game I love, y'all? I see why he got his teeth knocked out. But what happened to the game I love? What happened? Somebody talk to me, Les. Les, you know what I learned, y'all, on like a 10-second delay? Les, I got to hear somebody got to say, what happened? Do y'all need me to play it again? What happened to the game I love? What happened, ladies and gentlemen? Don't forget, I'll need all the fathers on here today. I got a word for the fathers. I got 10 commandments for the fathers. Fresh off the press, got 10 commandments for the fathers. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, you on the Chop Shop page. She said you on here now. Okay. Oh, you couldn't find it? Okay. I'm glad you found it. But talk to me. What happened to the game we love? I love. What happened to the game I love? What happened? Then I go watch some look. Then when I see mess like that, and then I go see these middle school kids. See, middle school basketball in Tennessee is famous. It's famous. They go to the state championship, just like the high school. But somebody sent me this video. The little youngsters. Uh, Let me see. Where they at? Middle school. Watch it. It's middle school game. Watch this. These middle school kids, man, in Memphis. I don't know the school. They just sent it to me. They're a little intense. These people just love basketball. People just love basketball. You got Stephen A. Smith talking about it. Okay. Let me keep going. Ladies and gentlemen, I saw something. Because I hear how people always got something to say about our players. Henry Sim. He said entertainment and money is bigger than the game. Henry Sim, what happened to the game I love? Because the game is so pure, Henry Sim. Henry Sims, I love telling this story because a lot of people don't hear it. Everybody don't hear everything. So some people, y'all got to hear it again. Henry Sims, I had a meeting in Vegas, and I went to Vegas for my meeting, and somebody said, man, let's go to a basketball game. I said, okay, let's go. Went to a basketball game. I didn't know. A high school basketball game called the border battle, the battle of the border, something, right? So I walked in the gym. You know, they had 3 or 4 gyms. So I walk in the gym, and you know, you're walking down and the court on your left and the stands on your right. You're going in, and I just stopped, Henry Sam. I just stopped. Shout out to you too, Henry Sam. I gave you a shout out yesterday. I love what y'all doing for them guys over there at the pro-am. Great job. Great job. I like those guys. I saw those little guys grow up. And man, it just made me warm my heart to see those guys. But I walked in the gym, Henry Sim, and I was watching the game. Watching the floor of the game. High level basketball game. But there's one particular person I was just glued to. Just walked in the gym. Didn't know nobody. Nobody telling me, nobody hyping, nobody running their mouth, nobody they're trying to push nobody. I just walked in the gym and saw a guy go up the floor about 4 or 5 times. I can't remember. But he was a point guard, but he controlled the game on both ends. Henry Sim had some nice size on him. He could shoot it. And I said, and I went over there, and I told the people, hold up, I ain't going nowhere. I want to watch this dude. So I went to the scores table. I never did this, Henry Sim. I went to the scores table, bothering them people. I said, look, excuse me, what is his name? What is his name? He told me the name. I never heard of the name. So I said, okay. So I went around. I was going to find out who this boy was. So I caught Gary Carter with Extra Eyes Media. He was in there filming. I said, Gary, who is that dude right there? He said, Mr. Hatter, you got a good eye. I said, what you mean? He going to be a McDonald's All-America. Ladies and gentlemen, when somebody walk in the gym, if you think you a dude, Curtis George, Harold Tillman, we sitting there watching the game, we should ask, who is that? I'm going to tell you the truth. I went to the U of H camp this weekend. I didn't see too much of that. Got to be special, man. You got to stand out. You got to, thank you, Gary, for that. You got to stand out. I ain't said, listen, everybody ain't gonna be great, but I should say something. Who is that? You're doing all of this working out. When you come in, you got to have some quality if you plan on playing in college. Now, if you just plan on playing and just for exercise and for the camaraderie, I understand, baby. Michael Brown Jr. Thank you. Michael Brown Jr. Yes, Gary. I just asked him, here to see him. I said, who is that? Now, when I went to U of H camp, I came to see Clear Springs play. Now, I knew the player that I came to see was on this Clear Springs team, but I didn't know who he was. But me watching him in warm-ups, I knew who Madden Hill was. I never met him, never seen a video. I just hear people talk about it. I saw them in warm-ups, and I said, that's him. He look different. And I don't know how good he gonna be. I'm not projecting how good he gonna be. That's for them other people. But I knew who he was. And I didn't kind of fell in love. I can't wait to see him play again. I can't wait to see him play again. But I was thinking about the reason I'm bringing up Michael Brown is I saw where some people gave me some notes on him after I asked about him. Robert, he's 6'4" and 2/4 in shoes. Robert, he got a 41-inch vertical leap. Robert, he's quick with and without the ball in his hands. But then they said he got limited athletic. He's limited athletically. Let me show y'all something. He's limited athletically. He right-handed. He dunked that one with his left hand on the big fella that's going to Kentucky. Right there. And the big fella got cut. Right after this session right here, that big fella got cut. And sent home. This is a USA game. This the guy, Michael Brown Jr., that I saw in the game. Nobody told me about him. I didn't hear him. I just saw him on the court. And I said, what the hell is that? What is that? Malachi Marino, a legitimate 6'11". He got cut from the USA. But that ain't nothing, because everybody who go to USA games, I think you win. If you go and be there, I think you win. Just some people ain't gonna make the team. So, that's why I have to watch what people say about people, man. So hold up. Let me show you. Let me show you something, Garrett. Garrett. That's the kind of stuff I was seeing, Jerry Harris. Up and down the court 5 times. Henry Sims. I don't know what nobody else was talking about. I had to go find out who that boy. And hold up, it was about 2 or 3 7-footers out there. 6'9s, 6'8s, 6'7s, all over the place. Jerry Harris. I'm going to predict. I don't know what's going to happen with USA basketball, but I think he's going to be the starting point guard in USA basketball. That ain't a big reach. I think they're going to put the ball in his hands because he know what to do with it. See, a lot of these kids, we put it in their hands, Norris Davis, they don't know what to do with it. A lot of people were like me. I didn't know nothing about this boy. I didn't know nothing about him. I'm introduced. It's another kid that I'm going to introduce a little bit later in this show that I knew nothing about him in the beginning. And I'm glad I learned more about him because I'm doing some stuff with him. And it's just amazing when you educate yourself on some stuff and you put yourself in a position. I'll tell you about it a little bit later. But I saw him, y'all. And this is another kid. I saw an interview of him years ago. saw an interview, and I was so impressed with the interview with Gayle King. Gayle King introduced me to a young man named via YouTube. Not she didn't introduce me personally. Named Lewis Hamilton. A lot of people on this show, a lot of friends of mine, are now going to F1 events, Formula One racing events, because I introduced them to Formula One. A lot of people on this show play golf now because I introduced through this platform, I introduced them. When I learn something, I just share it with y'all. Then y'all, it's up to y'all to go and broaden your horizons. You follow me? But this young man, Lewis Hamilton, has persuaded Apple to get in the movie business. Y'all remember during the Met Gala? Let me see, can I find it? During the Met Gala, let me see, I don't know what I put it on. Let me see. Let me see. Yes. Watch this. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Damson Idris. Young kid for Snowfall. Everybody was wondering about this. Pulled up to the Met Gala. Pulled up to the Met Gala in a Formula One car in that outfit. Then brought out his outfit. But he was promoting this movie that Apple spent $200 million on, that the guy that Gayle King introduced to me years ago, named Lewis Hamilton, who went to this same Met Gala a few years ago when Sha'Carri Richardson was having all the problems. You know, she couldn't go to the Olympics. And he said, look, because the Met Gala is a very, very expensive thing for the costume institute of the museum of the Met Gala. It's a fundraiser, and $300 some thousand dollars per table. This young man that I met through Gayle King, named Lewis Hamilton, bought a table for the black designers who couldn't afford to be in there. So he had a table for the black designers who couldn't afford, up and coming designers, couldn't afford to be in the Met Gala. And he also brought Sha'Carri Richardson because she's in the fashion. This young man did that, right? He created the Hamilton Commission, right? Mission 44, where what he did, he's in F1 racing. And what he looked at, he said, it ain't but 1% of people that look like me in this multi-billion-dollar industry and all of these engineering jobs, and not nobody that look like me. He created a Hamilton Commission to figure out how to pipeline these kids, these young black kids, into in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, so they can get these kind of jobs. This young man, I'm about to talk about, I introduced to the Chop Shop years ago. His name is Lewis Hamilton. He's from England. His dad, mom and dad, working class moms and dads. Dad worked 4 or 5 jobs just so he can drive around on a go-kart and get fast on a go-kart. And now he is the greatest driver ever. He's the Michael Jordan of F1 racing. Lewis Hamilton. You got me? Y'all follow me? All right. What's up? What's up, Rick? I'm just taking you. I'm just adding context to this thing I'm talking about. So Lewis Hamilton, this the same Lewis Hamilton when George Floyd passed away. When that man unalived him and for 9 minutes and 40 seconds to put it, Lewis Hamilton got all those lily white people in that paddock and on who was in the racing. They kneel for a certain moment of silence for police brutality and racism. That's this same young dude from England, right? He's done so much stuff. Matter of fact, he was the chairman of the Met Gala this year. But what he did, he messed around. Apple wanted to deal with him. Apple wanted to deal with him, right? They wanted to be in the Lewis Hamilton business. Apple, Tim Cook, Apple phones. Everybody who got an iPhone and app, they're having a movie. They had the premiere last night in New York. All up and down line in New York were the 20 F1 cars. Because it ain't but 10 teams that compete, and 2 drivers per team, and it's 20 cars, right? So what's so unique about that? The movie, if you ever seen F1, I've been to races before, and it's some of the most fascinating things. It's just the most fascinating thing I've ever been a part of. Hold up, let me turn this on right quick. Just 1 second. And trying to introduce you to something. Maybe you don't like it. Hold on, let me put my Edmonton Oilers thing back up. But this young man in this movie, they was telling me about it. Some people that was telling me about the premiere. They was talking about the movie because the premiere was last night, talking about the amazing camera work, astonishing racing scenes and locations, great cast, electric chemistry from Idris and Brad Pitt. Idris is playing the young fellow on Snowfall, not Idris Elba, Daman Idris. He is playing a character loosely like Lewis Hamilton, the only black racer. And it's coming out on June the 27th. They say one of the best racing films of all time. It will leave you breathless when you walk out of the studio. People were walking out of the studio just going crazy. Whether people wanted to admit it or not. This is what I want y'all to know. Lewis Hamilton has taken F1, Formula One, to places that the sports otherwise would have never been able to get a foot in on its own accord otherwise. You can't do that if you're under the sport. You got to be on top of it. He is F1's greatest assets. His name, he's been dubbed by the Queen. He's from England. He got his name now is Sir Lewis Hamilton. And Damson Idris is just at the movie premiere last night. You got to remember, the man is a knight. He's an F1 driver. He's a singer. He's a movie producer. He's a song. Look him up. Look him up. He's look upable. He's Googleable. He's a songwriter. He's the founder of Mission 44. He's a business owner. He's a 2025 Met Gala co-chairman. He's a clothing designer. He's a movie producer. And now a future actor. He's going to play in the next Top Gun. But I was just looking at, let me give you some visuals, because, you know, some people got to get, let me tell you what I'm talking about. This is what happened at the premiere last night. He designed that jacket he got on along with Dior. Hold up, let me hear y'all talk. Let me let y'all hear Damson talking about it.
Lewis Hamilton just casually every so often popping up, but I hear he played a big role, and I'm sure that he was just this wealth of knowledge as well. Did you get a chance to like really talk to him and pick his brain?
I mean, Lewis, you know, we'd sit in a trailer and we would just go over the script, like from the beginning to the end, and he kind of called BS on some of the sequences that wouldn't happen in real life. But above all things, it was really just a sense of encouragement from Lewis. Anytime he came on set, everyone, you know, there'd be whispers like, "Oh, Lewis is here." You know, everyone would be really excited, you know, and he'd come up to me and, you know, he'd congratulate me and encourage me to keep going. And that fueled me throughout the whole process of filming. You know, he understood that what me and Brad were pulling off was unlike anything ever done before. You know, only 20 drivers get to feel what we felt, you know. So Lewis being there was and being full of so much passion was just great and encouraging throughout the filming of this.
Only 20 drivers on the planet get to feel what they feel. They were the 11 car because they filmed it while we was there at the. Brad Pitt, for the last 4 years, they've been filming this at live Formula One races. It's y'all. Let me tell you something. It's just this is a young black man. Did I tell y'all he also is a part owner of the Denver Broncos? Did I forget about to tell y'all that? Yeah, he's one of the owners of the Denver Broncos. Him, Condoleezza Rice, and Melanie Hobson. Yeah, those are 3 blacks as part owners of. Did I tell you that? But some remarkable young man, and the reason I share stuff like this with y'all, because I want one of our young people to say, "Wait a minute, all of these jobs, these engineering jobs in Formula One, let me get, man." Most of the black people that work in Formula One now is because of this young man. So I need y'all to know about him. Everything that was done in this movie was accurate because Lewis Hamilton was making sure that everything that happened. Y'all got to see the movie. Y'all, if you go to the race, y'all, it's a sound at the race. It's just unbelievable, man. It's one of the most exhilarating things you're gonna ever see in your life. If you ever get a chance to go to a Formula One race. But I had to share that with y'all because the movie will be out on June the 27th. I can't wait. He is a producer along with Apple, and Apple, I guess they already done it. Apple is going to come out with a documentary about Lewis Hamilton. It's going to be at the movies first, and then they're going to release it, I guess, on Apple. I'll have it going to release it. But this young man he was the only black, y'all. His daddy had to take him to get what you call self-defense lessons because he was being bullied because he was the only black kid on the track in go-karts. So he still is the only black driver. So it's a unique situation, man. Can you imagine what he had to go through when he had him kneeling for George Floyd? You imagine that whole industry is billionaire white, all of these people. It's so this young man stood up and stood out. I want our young people. If you grown folks, y'all don't have to like it. But tell your young people you'll be around. You ever heard of Lewis Hamilton? Go look him up. When Robert Hatter first saw him talk, think about it. This the young man who called Beyonce so she can help him because he wanted to ask her, how did you transfer from having your dad as your manager to just being your dad? How did you fire your dad? Because Lewis' dad been his manager his whole life. But Lewis just said, man, I'm tired of dad. I just want you to be my dad. Every time you come to me, you talk about business. I don't want to talk about no business with my dad. I just want to talk to my dad. And I never forget that. That's the interview with Gayle King and Beyonce helped him navigate through that, how the dynamics between her and Matthew. And it was a unique thing. So he got Houston ties. You follow me? Great. I'm just glad that I've been a part of this stuff. I guess I don't know, about 5 or 6 years. But he's the greatest. Shout out to Sir Lewis Hamilton. And but y'all ain't off the hook. I got something else for y'all. I just had to give y'all. I had to give y'all that. Now, can I talk about this guy? Can I talk about this guy right quick? Because somebody sent this to me already this morning. I already processed it. They sent me a video. Please, let's talk about this. Hold up. Let me get one more. I got one more for Lewis. Hold on. One more for Lewis. Hold on. And I got one more. I think he had a interview. Watch this.
Dick said that you were on set and you were.
Yeah. Now y'all see how I felt. Let me show you. Can y'all see why I just fell in love with this dude? Let me share some more stuff with y'all, because it's some people who ain't never. We might have some young person see this. Watch this. Y'all got to check this out.
for me, I mean, school was probably the most traumatizing and most difficult part of my life. Wow. I already was being bullied at the age of 6. I think at the time, that particular school, I was probably one of 3 kids of color. And just bigger, stronger, bullying kids were throwing me around a lot of the time. I was always the last picked in when you're standing in the playground and you're in the line of when they're picking teams for football, I was always the last one chosen or not even chosen, even if I was better than somebody else. And then the constant jabs, the things that are either thrown at you like bananas or people that would use the M word just so relaxed. People calling you half-caste and, just really not knowing where you fit in. That for me was difficult. When you then go into like history class and everything you learn in history, there are no people of color in the history that they were teaching us. So I was thinking, oh, well, where are the people that look like me? And I mean, in my school, there was only around 7 black kids out of 1,200 kids. And 3 of us were put outside the headmaster's office all the time. The headmaster just had it out for us, and particularly for me, I would say. So, like, juggling all these different emotions that you're feeling. Plus, I struggled at school. I didn't find out until I was 16 that I was dyslexic. Fortunately, came across a teacher that she came and took me down that road and helped me discover a little bit more about myself and how I can better myself through education. But I think that for me was tough. Also, as I was racing every weekend, on the third night, we would travel, pack up motorhome, we would travel in the country to race on the weekends. No one knew, when I'd go back to school, all the kids would sing on the weekend, and I'll come back.
I didn't like the way it was breaking up, but I hope y'all understand why this is so important to share with your next generation. You think my grandson ain't gonna know about Formula One? He don't have to do it, but he might want to get in that industry. Representation matters. Shout out to you, Sir Lewis Hamilton, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Great athlete. It's just unbelievable. I can go on and on and on. I hope I gave y'all enough breadcrumbs so y'all can go study who he is, so y'all can know exactly. It's an amazing, amazing young man. That's the kind of young man that I want my son to grow up and be. Always looking out for others. But back to old what y'all call him? Screaming A. Smith. Screaming A. Smith, right? Well, man, let me show you what he said. Let me show you what he said.
Marcus, listen, I know y'all got to go. You going to tell folks why nobody wants to be in Memphis, or you want me to do it?
Oh no! For a player like me, I just don't think that the league, like, if a guy's like me, I love to be in Memphis. I embrace it, but you got to identify those guys, right? And it's not that simple, especially a younger guy to identify that wants to be in Memphis. I want to hear you say, why you think
the people in Memphis is a great sports town, great fans, great people. Yeah. But there's an element there where cats like Jimmy Butler and others don't feel it's the safest environment. I'm talking to the local authorities in Memphis. You got to clean some of that stuff up because it's dissuasive to NBA players. They have talked about it. I know, they've told me.
All right,
that's Marcus. Listen.
Just for guys like Alfio, Stephen A. Smith. You have to put my beautiful city, Memphis, in your mouth, on your lips. Ladies and gentlemen, I sit there and talked about Lewis Hamilton being chastised, being bullied, being talked about. I'm constantly giving y'all a look into my life. The reason I don't talk about people on this show. Share the show, y'all. This need to be shared. The reason I don't talk about, I always try to give people the positive. Now, I'm going to say what you did. If you messed up, I'm going to say what you did now. But I'm going to say it in love. I'm going to say, y'all, it's a right way to do wrong, ladies and gentlemen. That's why when people come on here talking, with people on social media talking about each other, come on, y'all. Y'all, I accepted the apology of a guy who talked crazy to me on this old show. And sent out correspondence, Twitter, defaming me. I know I haven't did nothing wrong. I'm sitting there saying, what is wrong with you? See, y'all don't realize some of y'all, it's some stuff going on with some of us. Ladies and gentlemen. Us black folks in the black, but we the, no. That's the little uncle. No, you're not. No, something wrong with us. Some of us. Just go back. You just look at the way you move and just look at your life and just look at something wrong with some of us. But this guy has the nerve, Michael Jordan, to put the name of the city that I was born in his mouth. He said stars like Jimmy Butler have told him they don't feel safe in Memphis. The crime in Memphis is preventing some of the big stars from coming there. And he said he was talking to the local authorities. Y'all got to clean up some of that stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, crime is everywhere. I'm from Memphis. Some NBA players have been more of a problem in the city and the streets than the people of Memphis. There are some players that are out there in the streets with some of these people that you said they scared of, acting a damn fool and getting a pass after pass after pass. Y'all just wonder who I'm talking. Y'all can just wonder who I'm talking about because of who they are. Ladies and gentlemen, the same people that you said the NBA players are afraid of are the same dudes that are giving these players the passes. Even though a lot of those players are being disrespectful. Ladies and gentlemen, I got some stories I could tell y'all would never tell on this show about what some players did down there. And being reckless. These people were giving passes. We don't need to say anything. Stephen A. Smith, you don't need to say anything to our local authorities. Ain't you from New York? Let's not talk about that. Telling them to clean up their act. No, you clean up your act, Stephen A. Smith. Y'all name me one Grizzly player that got robbed. I got assaulted. I got touched. Now, they might have got the car stolen, but shit, you can get your car stolen in Houston. You can get your car stolen in Palm Springs. That happens everywhere. Might have a burglary. That happens. NBA players in Memphis are more protected, listen to me, more protected, listen to me, and safer than the mayor of Memphis. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Those athletes get showed love and respect. Boy, I wish I could tell y'all something. But I'm not going to do nothing to hurt nobody. So for people listening to this clown who knows nothing about Memphis, you don't rock there, man. And them people don't want Jimmy Butler if that's what he said. That's if he said it. Because Stephen A. Smith be lying. But if he did say it, why did you repeat it? Y'all, there's a lot of stuff that people tell me I don't repeat it on this show. Pro athletes in Memphis are safer than anybody else in the city. The athletes at Memphis, University of Memphis, I ain't never heard him come over there and talk about all that stuff that's happening in University of Georgia on one football team. Ladies and gentlemen, them people in the streets of Memphis, they give people they respect. They give them athletes their love. That people show them reverence, even when they're drunk. Unbelievable. 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 Let me keep going. Anybody know me? I'm an avid golfer. Let me send this text right quick. Avid golfer. Love golf. Love the history of golf. Studied the history of golf. Frank Miles. I got mixed emotions over this past weekend because I love the game of golf. I saw where JJ Spawn, congratulations to him for winning the US Open. This guy, Roger Steele, was saying some stuff. He said, I think as people who like golf, we have lost Rory McIlroy, my favorite player. I got right now it's Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler. If you want to know my favorites, Rory, Scotty. Dustin Johnson was my favorite, but he went over to another tour. He took the money and ran. He went and took the money from the Arab hedge fund and ran to Live Golf. Yes, I supported Live Golf when they came in, but he down to third now. Right? But I think we lost Rory. Yeah, I think he's done with us. People that love golf and support golf. I'm not talking about Rory as the player. He's going to still be playing. I think he's still going to whoop a whole lot of people. But I'm talking about, I'm just watching, I'm talking about the press. I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith. I'm adding all this together. And y'all watch me. Y'all follow me. I'm talking about the rest of this is one of the best golfers in our generation who was thoughtful enough to have opinions and vulnerable enough to share them. And we done ran him off. When a person be up here on this show and be thoughtful enough to have an opinion and be vulnerable enough to share them with y'all, we can't run them off. Why, you might ask? Because us as golfers, where my golfers at? We we're toxic. Yeah, we're toxic. We generally don't know how to accept good things as golfers. Because the architect who do the golf course, he give us a wide part of the fairway at 250 yards, right? What we do, we try to hit a driver to the skinny part of the fairway. Let me repeat that. This is how us golfers are. The architect who built the golf course put a wide area where 250 yards, but I want to hit it 280 yards or 290 yards in a narrow area. We're toxic. It's a pin on the green, tucked in the left-hand corner, with a World War II bunker on this side of it, short-sided. And where do we aim? Right there in the middle of the conflict. It's the American way. We finally do get a birdie look, but it's a slippery one. And what we gonna do? We gonna ram it 3 foot past it. My mama told me, you just can't bless the unblessable. You know what? For golf to be a thinking man's sport, ladies and gentlemen, we got to be the dumbest segment of recreational athletes on the planet. Right behind the guys who play pickup basketball after 40. Because, ladies and gentlemen, who needs ligaments? The people, those schools who playing pickup games after 40, they saying who need ligaments or tendons and below the knees. Am I right? Achilles tendon tears and all that. Out there start trying. I don't try to hoop no more. That's why I hit the golf ball. Y'all really need to stop doing this stuff and hang it up. All you basketball players over 40. But for real though, Rory is the modern day Arnold Palmer. Ladies and gentlemen, back in the day, it was Arnold Palmer versus Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus was the country club kid. Arnie, dad was a greenskeeper. Grew up the hard way. Y'all, Rory McIlroy. Mom and dad had to work 5 and 6 damn jobs for him to be able to play golf over here. He's from Ireland. 5 and 6 jobs apiece. He always cry when he talk about it. They didn't have the country club. They didn't have the nice clubs. They didn't have a membership at Royal Oaks. He's a modern day. Arnie brought people. He brought golf to the people. Rory, I wouldn't have never thought nothing would make me, Tiger gone. I had to get me somebody else. So Dustin Johnson was my dude, and then he went over to live. So Scotty Scheffler, I had to say, Scotty and Rory, they're my dudes. But I was thinking about something. Arnie brought golf to the people. He won trophies on the course, but he won hearts and imaginations of people off the course. Y'all, when I swing the club, I'm thinking like Rory McIlroy. He's saying, golf, you can be 36 over par, but one bird at 18. I told y'all, ladies and gentlemen, somebody laughed at me. Golf and sex are the only 2 things you don't have to be good at to enjoy. You'll get that one on the way home. You get that on the way home. But Arnie, he was a figure with or without a club in his hand. He was a mind. He was a heart. He's human. And Rory's cut from the same cloth. And I'm watching him this weekend, and I didn't, hold up, y'all. I got to let y'all hear it. Because it broke y'all wonder why I'm talking about a golfer. It broke my heart. Depressed, mad, because sometimes he don't want to talk to the press. Golf ain't like basketball. They ain't obligated to talk to the press. I'm not gonna go through the cycle. I'm just gonna I'm putting up Tory Lanes. I'm talking about Rory, boy. Hold up, I can't see. Rory. Man, the thing keep Rory. Okay, Rory. Okay, there you go, Rory McIlroy. Y'all listen to what he tell the press. Hold up. Watch this.
I mean, you look frustrated out there at times. How difficult is it to stay patient?
Yeah, I mean, that's the name of the game this week, is staying patient and try to do a good job of it out there, but it's just, it's one of those golf courses that you can lose patience on pretty quickly.
What will you take away from this week? Is it just a case of setting this aside and trying to get back to the form you showed earlier in the year?
Yeah, I've driven the ball better. I've driven the ball as good as I have in a long time, so that's at least a positive this week.
Were you after the final 15 holes yesterday? Did you expecting a little bit more today? Coming out a little more momentum?
I was hoping to play.
That's too long. That ain't the one I want. Cause the dude asked me, what you would like about? He said, the worst thing about me being on the golf course is y'all. I'm sick of y'all. Where he said it at? Hold on, here.
Pre-tournament press conference. You don't really know how it's going to affect you. You don't know, how you're going to react to such a, I wouldn't say a life-altering occasion, but at least something that I've dreamt about for a long time. And yeah, I've alluded to the fact that I have felt a little flat on the golf course afterwards.
You did show great fight yesterday. You were 8 over par after 3 holes in round 2. You could have eased.
Y'all, I got to find. I should have saved it. But what he was telling the press, because they was messing with him. Some days he listen to him, then some days he don't. And then when you don't come out of it, the press think they own players. I can't stand them. Hold up, let me see. Hold up.
No, not really. It's more a frustration with you guys.
There you go. Hold up. Here you go.
Is that the part and parcel to the frustration on the golf course? What do you attribute?
No, not really. It's more a frustration with you guys. But I'm just, I don't know. I mean, I've been totally available for the last few years, and I'm not saying maybe not you guys, but maybe more just the whole thing. The whole. Yeah, part of I mean, that was a part of it. That was a part of it. But it's not as if like at Augusta I skipped you guys on Thursday. So it's not as if it's not out of the ordinary. I've done it before.
In other words, sometimes he just skipped and don't go talk to the press, and they mad at him. He speaks out, ladies and gentlemen, on stuff that matters. Just think about the stuff that Rory is giving us insight on. The player policy BS. The live golf. The USGA rollbacks. The American greed in the Ryder Cup. Slow play. And he told some names of the guys who slow play. That's what we're going to, I promise y'all, y'all I'm going to start. When these folks keep messing up, I'm going to start saying it. Slow play. He was talking about athletes' mental health. Do you know how dope it is to have a star that do not have to hide behind the niceties and say all the right things? Hide behind their games? Do you know how rare it is to have an athlete be placed on a pace to be a billionaire and uses his precious commodity, his time, and share the thoughts on his mind? And everybody talking about him negative. If you ain't in the golf community, you wouldn't know. They talk about him negative all week. He didn't come to the press conference. He didn't. You actually have to ask yourself, what does Rory get out of talking to the media? Like, what's in it for him? People out there talking about he needs to shut up. Who else gonna tell us the truth on the tour? Tiger ain't playing. And Tiger, I don't trust him to tell me the truth. Who else? is going to say anything real about golf anymore. Nobody in the top 10. Ray Moore. Y'all, I'm juxtaposing it to basketball, to football, any kind of sport. You actually don't see. I get it. Most of y'all want to go through those middle of the road interviews. I actually, I don't have an opinion on the matter. I just hope that all the things will work themselves out. I'm just here doing the same thing that everybody else is doing for the same reason everybody else is doing it. You could ever be so kindly just to leave me alone. I would go back and just take my maximum amount of money and my minimum amount of words as possible. A lot of these players sound pre-recorded. That's what I never forget in the press conferences after the game, in the press conferences when we talk to the players for TSU. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna ask some. I get tired of people asking the same old stuff, boring ass questions. I'm gonna ask something to make you say something. I know they be looking at me. And you know when you got them. That's a good question. And I don't even have to do that. I do not like to sit up here and act. You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Can I talk to y'all? After the game, win or lose, I don't like to talk to the coaches or the players. I don't. You know what? Win or lose, I think it's more important for them to go and talk it over and celebrate with their teammates. That's just me. Because I'm not media. I'm not conventional media. I do it, but I don't like it. I don't want to talk to Johnny Jones after a loss. I don't want to talk to him after a win. But we have to fill time. But a lot of these plays, I don't want to feel pre-recorded. And no offense to the players out there trying to get your money, but we are seeing a rare golfer like Rory is. I'm talking about to everybody, the media and the fans. We got to chill out. We got to stop weaponizing the transparency. We got to stop demonizing the circumstances. We got to give him grace when he don't feel like talking. And we got to welcome him with open arms when he feel like blessing us with some of that wisdom. What I'm not going to do, I'm not going to sit here and say that one man is bigger than the game. But I will say, somebody like Rory, if he stopped talking and stopped caring, the game shrinks. Stephen Curry, stop talking, the game shrinks. Stephen A. Smith, why you keep trying to tear down the NBA and the players in the cities that's in the NBA? And that's how your way back head ass get paid. Yes, I said it. Especially the legends. I kind of miss the days when the media protect the athletes. That's why I protect the athletes so much on this show, y'all. You got to ask yourself, is viral headline is weakening the games? Vital signs? We have messed around and shut up and dribble Rory McIlroy. And he used to always talking up for people. You feeling me? I just had to share that with y'all, man. But shout out to No Excuses Pro-Am. it's just so much stuff is going on. I saw earlier Mr. Sims, Coach Sims was on the feed. But y'all, I got to play this. I love this video. I think it was check this out.
Hello?
Is this Anaya Smith?
Yes, this is I.
I was calling to get more information about the event this July.
Oh, yeah, so I actually have it pulled up right here, man. It's actually a 3-day event. We have a golf tournament here on July 3rd, and then the next day is the showcase camp on the 4th of July and big gala dinner on July 5th. And shoes, man, we're gonna have a great time. You know what I'm saying? Pull up. If you need any more details, at HCLSilverLegacy.info. Hopefully I'll see you there. Matter of fact, I will see you there.
Nice. Mr. Mayor, what's going on? What you doing here? What you mean? You gave me the key to the city. You got here. Watch out, man. So we'll see you July 3rd through the 5th. If you need more information, type in HCLSilverLegacy.info. We'll see you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this the Heaven Bound Christian League golf tournament, man. It's gonna be a great, great time. I had to share that with you. Anaya Smith, wide receiver in the NFL, July 3rd at Quail Valley Golf Course. It kicks off. Man, I can't wait for it to happen. Go to the QR code that's at the, if you can see it, let me see, can I find it? Is it right here? That QR code right there. Put it up on your phone and see where you can might want to get a vendor, sponsorship available. Anything that have to use July 3rd is right around the corner. Get your stuff early, 832-390-1831. I can't wait. I can't wait, man. Great, great cause. These people are, I'm gonna bring it up bigger, but they're celebrating the 25 years of faith, mentorship, academic and athletic excellence. Proceeds to support the HCL Reach Foundation's missions to help underserved youth, athletes succeed in sports and in life. Wow. And ladies and gentlemen, forgot to tell you, from 1 p.m., 3 p.m. today, if I can get out of here early enough, I'm going to see the end of it. I'm going to see the young fellas down there at Fundy. They got an open gym for our high school players, free. Parents, all you got to do, 1 to 3, drop them off, pick them up, stay around. They can come in there and just hoop and just play. It ain't organized. It ain't just come in there and just play, pick up basketball if they want to. And but without part of a team, team this, team, man, work on your game in the summer. That's why I tell this camp month, work on your game. But I saw something I wanted to share with you. I wanted to finish the conversation yesterday that I was talking about, because I know a lot of our young men want to be coaches in college. And I love that we had a little opposition to what I'm talking. First of all, if a Division I head coach give me his opinion, and he's been a Division I head coach in several places, and this is his findings, he was calling to tell me about, and said, Robert, this industry is changing. I don't care what your opinion is. I'm giving you what he said. He said, Robert, you got the coach now and you got the GM. He said, it's not like in the NBA where you have an owner. In this you don't have to answer to nobody, but everything falls on the coach. He said, you don't have the last say-so as a coach, but you're in charge of everything. Frank Miles expect a whole lot of me, right? But I got to talk to Frank Miles before I do something. But then if I do something without Frank Miles, then I get fired. This is what some head coaches are going through, especially the black ones. When decisions had to be made in real time, they can affect you and impact you. You know, y'all want NIL this, NIL this. I want the NIL, I want the NIL. Thanks. I'm glad Alpha, because I love his opposition on this, because he just don't get it yet. He's brainwashed. The coaching staff have to be more on point because the stakes are so high. The assistants have to be on point. The assistants have to be on point. Some people hire GM, some people don't, to help navigate this thing. But coach was telling me, I don't need my assistant coach trying to negotiate no damn NIL deals. I need him to coach. I got this. You coach. Don't you go out there making no deals with people. Well, you can get this and you can get this. You can do. No. I don't need you negotiating no money. I just want you to recruit and coach. Figure out your value. Assistant black coaches. I'm just giving you aspiring coaches. Figure out your value and what your lane is. I'm just helping. Most assistant coaches can't retire like the head coaches. So the coach don't need them talking about money. Some of them can't handle their own. He said, I never talked to an assistant about money. That ain't his job. The college guys just don't have a feel for that. They just don't have a feel. I'm glad you're here, Bob, because I know you want to be a college coach. This is for you. Then I look at the ACC. I look at all the guys that retired. Krzyzewski gone. Boeheim gone. Roy Williams gone. Who speaks? Do y'all know who the speaker who speaks up for the ACC now when they had these meetings? The coach at Clemson. I still don't know what his name is. Hubert Davis, you need to speak up. You in North Carolina. John Shaw, you need to sneak up, man. Speak up. You at Duke. Now you got to educate. You have to educate from an NBA perspective. Bob, I'm trying to help you. See, you have a president of a university, Bob, that don't know nothing about sports. The AD, he might just like football. Now, you're going to find some ADs that like basketball too, but you might find an AD. Like U of H AD, she like basketball. But I ain't saying she like basketball. Coach Sampson stayed on her ass and made her like basketball. And the head coaches. These are the dynamics. What I said, the president, the AD, the head coaches. Those are the dynamics. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Johnson, Sherman Johnson. And you still have to deal with academics. I know y'all done forgot about that, because all y'all been thinking about, y'all ain't been thinking about the ABCs. Y'all been thinking about the NIL. My university can get the best NIL. And none of them graduate. Some schools has academics as the forefront. And if you bring in a couple of suspect dudes, that can hurt your standing. With this settlement, people talking about maybe it's a level playing field now. The bag situation is everybody be able to give out the bag. Whoever you like is money. Whoever you like now. Even assistant coaches, they ain't as valuable no more because they ain't. All they got to do is say, I can offer you this much money. That ain't recruiting. That's who got the bigger bag. Y'all, this real. I'm talking to my young people out here. That's why I was saying the other day, and Alfio didn't get it. Don't judge all colleges against those colleges with the higher budgets. Don't say this is a better coach than this guy is a better than he is because he got $20 million to get these get these players. Excuse me, Lord. That don't mean he's a better coach. If I got the better players, I'm gonna win. But what if I got the better players when I lose? And I lose. Like I said, who's gonna be the first coach fired next year? Young coaches. You got to move in different circles. I'm giving y'all something that ain't too many people gonna give y'all. I'm giving y'all information coming straight from the horse's mouth. The horses don't mind talking to me because they know I got a heart for our people. You got to move in different circles. You can't be stuck. But guess what Herb didn't understand was, he said in his experience, he'd been a head coach several places, an assistant. He said 90% of the black coaches he've encountered are lazy and sensitive. Ain't on point. Somebody text me. Somebody just gave me a prime example. When you let handlers and inadequate people handle you, boy. I know why you couldn't put it on the screen. I got it in my notes. I don't even really want to talk about it, but I need to. Thank you. Thank you, though. He said 90%. So that all I'm telling the young players is, Herb came and said, well, what's the percentage of the white guy? We ain't talking about the white. We can't worry about them. We got to center ourselves. I want our young black coaches to not be lazy and not be sensitive when somebody tell your ass what to say. He your boss, and you got to be on point. Whatever you have to be able to take directions. You have to learn how to lead. You have to know how to follow before you lead. And when you're in these positions, do your job. Vanette Skeet over at U of A can't keep a coach, and people tell me why she can't keep a coach. But maybe their ass wasn't doing their job. Young black coaches, don't be resistant to change. Listen and don't be problematic. I'm giving you a cheat sheet. Be a problem solver, not be problem maker. Stay on point. Stay on point. You got to be what's your plan? What's your plan? If you have a plan, be able to use basketball language. Learn it. That's why Jonathan Givony and all them people they talking the language that Daryl Morey these guys want to hear. We got to have success, black coaches. We got to win. There's no way Mikael Brown, she finna go and get that coach at Louisville another raise. Man, you should have went somewhere where the black coach is. Yes, Robert had a bragging about you, but I needed you to go to where a black coach get a raise. Yes, I'm selfish. You going to Louisville. I don't know that dude. You got to value your value, young black coaches, more than you value money. Sometimes you got to take a step back to take a step forward. I know a guy left a head coaching job in college, went to NBA, went to assistant coach. Now he got a Power 5 head coaching job. Sometimes. Don't let them just throw you a bone. Make the money make sense. If they gonna use me like this, pay me. Make them give you some historical money. Because they're gonna fire your ass and ain't nobody else gonna hire you. So at least you have some money. Make it make sense. That's what I love about Colin Harmon, the young man who recruited my son out of high school to go to where he went to? He was at Cornell. He was at not Cornell. He was at Columbia. My son loved him. He's the highest paid assistant in college basketball. Colin Harmon at Florida. He made it make sense. If y'all, I'm not finna accept one of these jobs, but if I am gonna be on the staff at Florida, y'all got to pay me. I'm the baddest dude in this game. Pay me. See what else I got. I know that was heavy. I'm gonna go give y'all something light now. I just want y'all to think about that. There were some things that happened last night in this basketball game, Indiana. And OKC. But some things that happened for Indiana that aren't survivable. That's my headline from last night. Unsurvivable. That run that OKC went on and that performance from Jalen Williams was the best offensive player on the floor, and that's not survivable for Indiana. Shea gonna already kill you. You can't let this dude beat it. The points of turnovers tested themselves in the first for the first time in this series. It was a major differential in the game. Somebody said, I know a guy. 32 points for OKC off turnovers. They lose the battle of the 3-point against OKC. That's a non-negotiable. In order to win the game, you got to win that battle. That's what's got you here. And you lost that battle. And finally, no field goals for Tyrese Halliburton. I was calling him hallelujah. Shit, he halitosis right now. That's not survivable, Indiana, when he looked the way he did. Yes, he got limited with his leg, but he could not put pressure on their defense. So as a result, the offense stalled in certain times of the game when they needed a punch. And if Halliburton have another bad game at home facing elimination, then this whole app, that whole Twitter app is going to forget the last 2 months of hoops and just hold on to the last 2 games when discussing this playoff run. He need to save himself when they play again. When they play again. Thursday. He need to save himself. Mr. Halliburton. Stop it. Y'all, Halliburton was the first all-star player to ever miss every shot in a finals game. I was impressed by this OKC defense. I ain't gonna lie, man. Them dudes was everywhere, man. And the Pacers wasn't rotating with a sense of urgency, man. I just saw so many. I ain't gonna lie. It took a lot out of me. Took a lot out of me. Took a lot out of the old man last night. Where else? I got something else. Somebody text me. What time is it? Somebody text me. Somebody text me and said, I changed it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call them kids no bum. Somebody said, don't you call them kids no bums. I apologize. Somebody text me. And they said, Robert, a prime example of what you were talking about happens when you let handlers and ill-equipped people handle your business. Ladies and gentlemen, when you've been in a business for 30 years and excelled in the business for 30 years, and my thing was always to get fair market value for my players. They came out a list a while back. I wish I can find it somewhere. They came out with a list a long time ago. Let me see. I came out of a list a long time ago, Bob. And on that list, Bob, I can't find it. On that list, they had the most overpaid players in football and the most overpaid players in basketball. We had 4 or 5 on each list. Now look, all we can do is get you the money. You follow me? I can't play basketball for you. Y'all got me? That's on them. I'm trying to find some, but I'm looking at this kid, Ace Bailey, right? Here we go. I found it. Oh, you waiting on the file? Okay, I'm going to give them to you in a minute. Y'all watch this. No, y'all probably ain't never seen nothing like this. Y'all probably didn't know this happened. It's formulating. It's going to pop up on the screen. I'll give you this right here. Let me read this for you. See, USA Today. This ain't the sports page. Make sure y'all tell y'all kids this. Let me put it back up there. This ain't the sports page. Ladies and gentlemen, Fob, this ain't the sports page. This the money page of USA Today. Can y'all see that? It's the money page. April 9th, 1996. Michael Jordan is no longer number one. Anthony Penny Hardaway, the Orlando Magic superstar, has outscored the Chicago Bulls star as the most popular athlete ranked by the kids in a study to be released today by a research firm, Teenage Research Unlimited. Jordan tied for second with Detroit Grant Hill. Jordan had ranked number one for 8 consecutive years on the National Mail-In Survey of the 2000 teens. Popularity with teens is crucial for pro athletes in search of lucrative marketing deals. After all, it is the teens who purchase the most sneakers, soft drinks, athletic wear, and pro athletes endorse. That pro athletes endorse. But it isn't always on-court feats that propel the athlete's image. Popularity with teens often has to do with who is the coolest, who got the coolest ads. And he noted that the teens generally considered Hardaway, who was 23, to be more of a contemporary than Jordan, who was 32. Nothing against Jordan. Hardaway ranked. A lot of y'all didn't even know this happened, did you? Hardaway ranked 16th in last year's team poll. But he has since appeared in 6 humorous little penny TV spots for Nike that featured him speaking to a tiny little doll that represents his alter ego. Jordan, whose marketing career began with Nike, is now appearing in just one Nike spot. It's a no-lose situation for us at Nike. But I'm just showing y'all. You got to have people that know what the hell they're doing. But this young kid, and I don't know how true it is, but when they start putting stuff like this, Ace Bailey draft stock has fallen due to his unwillingness to visit several teams that he has yet to conduct a single workout. For several teams, in fact, he has yet to conduct a single workout. They said Bailey believes he's a top 3 player in the draft and wants to be selected by a team that would provide a clear pathway to start. Bailey's pre-draft workout strategy has perplexed some observers, as he has yet to conduct a single known workout to this date, having declined invitation from several teams within his draft range. Sources said Bailey's camp was informed interested teams that they believe he's a top 3 player in the draft, but also seeks a clear path to stardom. How in the hell can you sneak a clear path to stardom? Perhaps feeling uncomfortable that a team will trade up to get him at number 3, number 4, should he drop. Now, his agent is, they said, Omar Cooper. What's that boy, Sharif Cooper, dad? How did it work out for Sharif Cooper? They said, I don't know, they said Omar Cooper also wanted to get paid to do a camera interview this past season. The agent wanted to get paid to do an interview, to talk about his client, to put his client in a better life. You want to get paid For what? This is what happens when y'all just let anybody represent y'all. They say he rubs a lot of people the wrong way. Then somebody just texts me, Robert, this is the prime example when you let handlers and ill-equipped people handle your business. Somebody just texted me that. I wasn't going to really talk about this. What y'all got to say? Wow, y'all got quiet. Why? Why you get quiet on me? Ivan Pettit, I ain't forgot you, baby. Travis Lynch, why you quiet? Thaddeus Moody, why you quiet? Kevin Craven, why you quiet? Fob, why you quiet? German John, Jay Johnson, why you quiet? Alpha Yo, why you quiet? Frank, I know you ain't quiet. Y'all let a damn baboon represent y'all. Thank you, Michael Jordan. Why you quiet? See, that's our problem. We're quiet. As fathers, we can't be quiet. But they think these people do know the business. Curtis Jones, I just showed y'all Black history a minute ago. This is Black history. I showed them this didn't have nothing to do with USA Sports page. That's the USA Money page. It's Black history. Black men did that. Robert Hatter, Carl Poster, Kevin Poster did that. Hey man, you trying to brag about your little grill? Hey, all you had to do is say you're building your clean your barbecue grill. Why did you have to put the brand? I'm out here washing my Ferrari instead of I'm out here washing my car. Michael, that's I saw that. It's Black history, y'all. Rich Paul ain't never did that. Eric has. It's Black history. Do y'all know how hard? No, it ain't no little grill. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Got a whole lot of accessories to go with it. They even have barbecue tastings at the spot. I know what you're talking about. Have I ever? That's a good question. I wouldn't tell you that. Yeah. Yeah. I had a few clients that disappointed me. Yes. Yes. I had a few. But is it my job to to put them in a position to groom them to understand that with Robert, I'm your advisor. You're paying me to advise you. Because I want things to benefit you, because when they benefit me, they benefit me. This system was made for all of us to get money, not just you. I don't want you to drop, Ace. Robert Hatter wants you to be the #1 pick, but I'm gonna come with a plan. I'm not just gonna say I'm not going. They go. I'm not going. That's the stupidest thing in the world. Why did these people let these people get control of their sons like this? I see it because I see that y'all letting all these clowns be around your son doing handshakes like kids with the kids out here. Keep these clowns away from around your damn sons. Y'all done got quiet on me, man. I don't like that, man. Because I know I'm hitting some subject you ain't never heard. I just put something on the screen that's history, Black history. And y'all ain't grasped it yet. But these are the commandments that you have to govern yourself by. I call them the commandments for fathers. I got a young father on this screen. And I want to let him know he got to show your failures. #1, show your failures, not just your wins, to your kids. Show your children not just your touchdowns, but your tackles and your fumbles. They need to know that you failed before you succeeded. #2, be present, not just a provider. Make sure you as a father is present more than just providing. Children remember trips more than they remember gifts. Ladies and gentlemen, I went to all my son's games. I never forget. Got to Philadelphia and my rental car wasn't acting right. So I didn't like the way it was riding on the highway. It was all right in the streets. And I had to turn around and come back. They took a long time to give me the rental car. So I get to the game late. He was having a terrible game because he know when he looked behind, his dad was supposed to be there. He knew something was wrong if I wasn't there. When I walked in and sit in, somebody said, he's sure acting different now because he kept looking back up here. He kept looking back up there. Man, play your damn game. I'm good. But he was worried about me. You know I'm on the road by myself. Children remember your trips more than they remember your gifts. #3, fathers, you don't know everything. And remember, you don't know everything. There is something that your children can teach you. And as a consequence, you have got to be a student of life. You got to give them exposure. Growth needs light. Children are like film. In order to develop, they have got to get some exposure. You got to expose them to things. #5, signal change. Let them in on the shifts in your life. When you put on your turn signal, the only people that hear it are the people in the car. Announce to your children what is getting ready to change. What is getting ready to shift, and what is getting ready to happen next. Robert Hatter, I hear you're a big golf fan. Your thought on the U.S. Open about Jay, boy, he luck. That's luck. He can put that putt 1,000 times and won't hit it another time. 64 feet putt was luck. It was just his day. And all he had to do was two putt. He was going to win anyway. Jack Davis. Where am I at? Number 5? I told you about signal chain was number 5. Number 6, Jack Davis. We're in the middle of something. I'm going to get back to that in a minute. Fathers. It's my Father's Day for you. This is my Father's Day present for my fathers. Consistency matters. The best shows are always have they always have a rerun. The best shows. Make sure that if you did it right the first time, you keep doing it again and again. Children don't need tricks. They need consistency. Thank you, Mike. Number 7. If you're just tuning in, number 7, I'm giving you commandments of fathers. This is for fathers. This is my Father's Day present to y'all. Number 7. Parent slow like a crock pot, not a microwave. Fatherhood is like a crock pot, not like a microwave. You have to sit with it for a long time. And you won't see the effects immediately. But over time and process, finally, the journey comes to its fullness. I'll never forget. Son up there at the barbershop in Cornell, I'm on the trip visiting, he getting his hair cut. And the barber said, man, Robert, I told my son, I want you to talk to this young kid because he talking about dropping out and talking about. So Robert sitting over there talking to the boy, right? And I'm sitting there listening. I'm ear hustling. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, all that stuff I used to tell him, and I thought he wasn't listening. He was giving it to the boy. Do y'all know I was on cloud 9 when I left him? I'm just sitting there listening. I'm dad. The boy was handing the wisdom that I imparted in him. He gave to that young man. That young man wound up going to college and making some of himself. He was wanting to just give it all up. The Bible says, train up a child the way they should go, and when they grow old, they will not depart from it. You don't have to believe in the Bible if you want to. Number 8. What I'm saying, number 8. Be a bubble wrap. Cover your children with care. Understand that you're entrusted with covering something that is so fragile, so gentle. But the only way that they will make it is if you put your arms around it. No matter how hard you think you are, daddy, Your child needs your hug. They need your kiss. They need your affirmation. Hope this helping somebody. Number 9. Somebody keep calling me. Number 9. Show calm strength, not rage. Fathers, I need you to hear this commandment. Let your kids see you upset, but never let them see you enraged. The Bible said, be ye angry, but sin not. So it's okay to talk about your disappointments, your frustrations, and even your tolerances. You got to realize that your child is not your friend. They are not your army buddy. They are not a stranger in the club. Treat them with kindness, with gentleness, and ease. I don't care how grown they are. Last one. It's the last commandment. If you are a sports enthusiast, and you are a father, sports talk show, you have to learn how to play every role. You have to, you have got to be your child's cheerleader, biggest cheerleader. You got to be the quarterback who throw them an opportunity. You got to be the offensive lineman that block them from everything. And you got to govern them to play. You got the government that plays when you're being their coach. You got to be able to govern the whole play because you're their coach too. These are the 10 commandments. Y'all throw away the ones that Biggie gave you, the crack commandments, and live by these. Especially them young fathers. You old fathers, you can go back and figure some of this stuff out. But man, I just had the greatest time with y'all today. Don't forget, young fellas, on Thursday after the day, it's open gym at Fondy Recreational Center at 110 Sabine Drive. Don't forget to get your season tickets for TSU football. I think something special gonna happen for TSU football this year. Not that expensive, great deals. Make sure you call Kevin Allen over there. And I don't have the number right here with me, but go to TSU Sports and you'll get it. Okay. Let me see if there's anything that I can give y'all in these last few minutes, because I started the show just a little bit late. And wait a minute. That is mood. Oh, you like that? Okay, thank you. That is mooted up, but I want y'all to, we're going to talk about this tomorrow, how the ESPN talking heads have made the NBA finals about them. Pat McAfee, Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins. They made this NBA finals about them. And I hope you're watching it. We're going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow. But I got to get out of here. And, man, I had fun. Thank you, Ivan Pettit Jr., young man. Got 4 boys. I love his dad, love his whole family. His mom used to watch the show. I think that's probably the only show. That's the only family that the mom, the dad, and the son watch the show. That's probably the only family that we have on here to watch that. Man, I don't know what happened to Jimmy today. They must have made him work a little bit today down there in the gym. I thought he was going to peek in for a minute. But I'm about to get out of here. But I see y'all on it's Women Rock Wednesday tomorrow. Hey, do me a favor. I'm gonna have some stuff tomorrow. I need some new women tomorrow. So tell your girlfriends, tell your cousins, tell them I need to tell them they need to get to the Chop Shop tomorrow. Okay? All right, I'm out of here. Bye.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live.